All right, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Under the Radar, where I am still trying to kill 7 magic snakes. But on the plus side, I'm getting pretty close, hopefully. Last time I reached the end of the Badlands, Khakabad, I believe. But I definitely did not get all the serpents because I got murdered and scared a whole bunch. So I'm actually trying to venture back into the lands of doom here to see if I can find the ones that I missed. So the problem with that is I have no idea really where to go, because if I did know, I would have found them the first time. But I have a few places that I haven't explored yet, so we are going to try to give it our best shot and see what happens. So like for example, I know that the water serpent is chilling in the lake somewhere. I haven't explored like this island or some of this areas over here. I haven't really explored as thoroughly as I probably could have. So we're gonna try to check it out. If I remember right, I should only have a few serpents left, but you're probably tired of hearing me talk anyway. Well, if you're tired of hearing me talk, you're watching the wrong show. But um, let's go ahead and get going. Turn away from Lakeshore. Yeah, I imagine there'll probably be a lot less reading in this section simply because a lot of it's going to be backtracking. So, as before, I will kind of skip the backtracky segments. I'm pretty sure that the way this is going to work is all going to be dependent on which way I turn those towers. Oh, and I will say just a quick note that so last time I was a little discouraged that I missed the air serpent. So I did a little bit of research on this game to try to see if it was possible to miss one of the serpents permanently. And two things. So first of all, I learned that apparently you can miss one of the serpents permanently, which sucks, but you know, it is what it is. And all right, so let's try to get yeah, see if I can get all three of these islands. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get the water snake if I do this, but at this point, I'm really more looking for the air serpent, a way to defeat the time serpent, and yeah, anyway. Uh, so what was I trying to say? So I did learn that you can miss them permanently, but I also learned too, well, I guess let's just go see if I can check it out now that it's changed before I do anything else crazy. But anyway, because of my research to learn that I can miss them permanently, I also may have accidentally found some spoilers uh, for how to do some of this stuff. So I'm going to try my best to not make use of those. I didn't actually find where the... Actually, let's just go back here to sleep for now. I didn't find where the serpents are, but I found some ways to defeat them, which, yeah, we'll see. I mean, apologies if it's not quite a purist playthrough, but you know, accidents happen. Day 22. You gained 1 provision and lost some gold, and you collected the Sun Serpent, meaning there's 3 serpents remaining. So yeah, that should be air, time, and water. So at least I know where the water serpent is. No clue how to kill him, but well, let's see. Don't I have his weakness? Let's see. What is his weakness? Water. It's vulnerable to oil, that's right. Air serpent is vulnerable when it leaves its body. And I wonder if I should try to kill the sun serpent as well. But let's see. Whoop. Could try to explore the city a little bit more. Thing is, I know where the time serpent and I know where the water serpent is. So really, I'm only looking for the air serpent. And the air serpent I found on the shore, which I screwed that all up. And he did attack that old man here on the steps. So he might be over there somewhere. Or maybe in some of these other sort of meadowy places. But first, I'm going to go ahead and explore this lake that's changed now based on time powers. Whoa. Check out the stalls. Got anything special for me today, guys? Yeah, let's get a few more dim fruits. There we go. That's nice. That's nice. Alright, what else do we get? Oh no, I guess nothing. Alright, that's cool. The Seven Serpent orb into the waters. Call out for a boat. There, well, if you nearby look at you strangely. I guess I'll swim. Oh, fuck. Well, so much for those apples. Well, balls. I didn't think that one through. Womp womp. The problem is I don't think I have, any, this is not good. You spit it out, take leaks, crush the leech. Bite it off. Oh, jeez. What, you feel the creature, Swallow more water. Oh, jeez, am I just gonna, like, die because of a leech? Spit it out. Okay. Yeah, that was fun. Alright, let's see if I can actually get up on this island now. Swimming like this is hard work. The sun is almost set and the sky has turned a deep purple. Soon it will be dark. A small fleet of fishing boat passes within earshot where you are swimming, although they don't seem to notice you. Whoops. Wait, no, I didn't want to do that. Oh well. Go ashore. I made my choice. Let's do it. On the shore. It is night. You would do well to sleep here. Unstrapping your pack on the shore of the lake, you try to stretch out despite the shivering cold of your still wet clothing. You have not yet eaten today, but you have no rations to eat. You close your eyes and let your tiredness overtake you. What is left of the night is restless with visions. Once more, you are falling into a pit of burning rocks, but every time you land is only for the stones to melt, and you tumble further down. Through it all, you feel the heat of Analand burning should your quest fail. Day 23, you almost died, so stop it. The sun rises above the waters of the lake. The island is rocky and barren. In its center is a rise of land which a dead tree stump pursues. You adopt a meditative position and rest. The day is likely to be clear, and it will be hot once more. The sun is hot now. You stand once more, feeling somewhat refreshed. You leave the shoreline and head inland. Please be something that'll help me here. You circle the shoreline of the island to the north as you climb your way up the rising stones. The stones are bare and gray. The island appears to be desolate. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can cast a far. Maybe that'll help me, because now I have a glass orb so I can actually do this. You settle into a sitting position on the rocks and take out the orb of crystal. Looking to the constellation above, you craft a spell and suddenly find yourself somewhere quite new. The world seems to disappear, replaced by a vision, a ring of tall, shadowy stones in a desolate waste. You stand at its center, holding above your head a long yellow feather taken from some colossal bird. You are casting a spell of curious power. The spell begins to take hold, and the feather erupts into flame as though you held a fiery sword. The fire reaches down your arm and into your bones, and you feel yourself swelling with great strength. The vision fades. The afternoon is drawing on. You explore across the rocks, being careful not to slip and twist your ankle in any of the cracks. Perhaps this is no island at all, but simply a mountain peak that has slid down into the water. Exploring across the rocks, you come across a rough staircase of stones. It curves around and upwards into the heart of the island. You peek underneath one of the pile of rocks, but can make out nothing but more rocks, and shadowy and dark. There may be snakes down there, but not gigantic winged serpents. You begin to climb the stone staircase. It is unclear if it is natural or designed. To the top! You clamber upwards until you crest the edge of a pit, looking down onto a single, unhealthy-looking tree. Discovering the tree is hardly unusual, except out here where it seems nothing grows. The tree's roots must go deep into the earth, and it seems to have twisted and bent around fallen rocks, so perhaps it was a seed blown here by the wind. The tree is fairly tall, with very few branches. It appears to be a young oak. You try and climb the tree, hauling yourself up onto the first branch, but it snaps under your weight and you fall once more. The broken branch lies next to you, a shortest oak staff. You pick up the oak branch. It is good length, and despite breakily under your weight, it is not rotten, the wood is simply young. You attempt to whittle the stick into a decent staff with your sword, but the blade of your sword isn't sharp enough for the tacks. The stick is too large to fit in your pack, but you are able to pass it through the straps across your shoulders comfortably enough. You head back to the shore. Oh, I got a stick, so that's cool. You return to the shore of the lake. In the distant water, you see a fleet of fishermen row past and catch a moment of their sinking. You race down to the shallows and begin to swim. Man, the swimming this lake is brutal work. You swim onwards across the surface of the lake. It is hard going. The sun is sinking. You rest, treading water and catching your breath. A short distance ahead, another commotion in the water appears, but this one is unavoidable. Leaping up from the water, a small school of flying fish are springing into the air and flying towards you. Cast a spell. Let's see, what can I do? What can I do? Not having a spell book really sucks right about now. I guess I can try to... I don't remember what half these spells do at this point. Hot's probably not going to work in the water. Pretty sure about that. Wall, I feel like they can just probably swim around it. Let's try... Raz is the sharpening spell. What does Nip do? Whatever, screw it. Let's just see what happens. You attempt to cast a spell, but something is... that's not required, so the magic falls to pieces. A moment later, they are on you, razor-sharp teeth ripping at your flesh. You have no choice but to fight. You draw your sword. Fighting an entire shoal of fish with a sword will be difficult, but you have no choice but to try. That was a waste of stamina. The fish explode from the water in a fountain of teeth and fins and spray. You wield your sword in an arc, hoping to slice through several of the creatures in one stroke. The flying fish, for all the splayed fins, are clearly cautious. They dive deep into the water, fins disappearing in a fountain of bubbles. The fish bubble away out of view for a moment. You take a deep breath and duck down under the water. Through the murk, you see the fish circling away. The Shones winds its way back, and then turns to face you. Ow, scary fish. You stay back in the water, hoping to keep clear of the fish's teeth. You are not a shade too cautious. The fish leap from the water, arcing up to destroy you, but they splash back down before they reach you. As one, the school turns and descends into the water. Alright, well I'm going to do a low one because I think they're going to not attack this time. Oop, okay, good deal, good deal. There's no purchase in the water, so you cannot put any weight behind your sword stroke other than what you have in your arms. Still, you swing, chopping at the monster school. It is like trying to fight water. The blade parts the shoal, and only a few fish fall to the water. You stare at an army of bristling teeth and widespread fins. Alright, let's do another low one. Oop. Oh no, that's bad. Ouch. Then suddenly they are all around you, too many to fend off. You splash, desperately trying to keep your head above the waterline. Blood trickles over the hilt of your sword, making it slippery. Alright, well, let's try a powerful one too then, if you're gonna be a jerk. Yeah, take that. You try and attack. Treading water, you swing a mighty blow at the flying fish, catching they a light blow. Come on, guys. Ankle, man. Had to proofread this better. Dead fish float away across the lake's surface. Let's try another big one. Well, not a big one. Let's do a small one. Like 3. Oh no, this is going not well at all. The flying fish circle wildly, their spines splashing and stabbing at you. You defend yourself as best you can. The water is turning red with blood. Fish are just visible, darting this way and that under the lake's surface. Oh jeez, yeah, I'm definitely screwed. You are fighting to keep your head above the water as you swing your blade. Lifting your arm high, you chop a heavy stroke against the flying fish. But you cannot swipe through the thick water with enough strength to reach them. The fish dart and flicker in the water, clearly in an agitated state. Yeah, I'm dead anyway. You sense the fish moving faster and paddle quickly backwards through the water. The flying fish snap at you, mostly well out of reach. You are too weak to fight further. The fish, sensing the moment that you give up, descend with new energy, teeth stretched. The blood in the water will attract plenty more, no doubt. There will be no trace left when they are finished. Nope. Let's see. Fish, he braces a huge fish fall away from you at the moment. Alright, let's do a small one. Pow! Okay. It descends into the water, so I can do a light one again. Alright, so now I'm going to try to beat it out on its strong one. Whoop! Oh, okay. That works. Kicking yourself forward, you swing your sword into the heart of the shoal just as the flying fish leap up at you. You slash them down. The fish dart and flicker in the water, clearly in an agitated state now. The shoal winds its way back and then turns to face you. Alright, well, I think it's going to try another big one, so let's just defend just to be safe. Okay, good. Take a deep breath and just the fish are visible on the lake surface. Alright, let's do a little one. Because I just need to pick at it and I'll win. Boop. You splash the blade into the water. Fainting left, you slice at the flying fish, but the monsters are low in the water and escape mostly unharmed. Several fish are now floating on the water's surface, one blank eye staring up, the other down. Alright, well, if I can win this one, it doesn't matter. Ah, gotcha! Take that, jerks. Splashing closer, you thrust your blade into the largest fish you can find. The last of the fish disappears into the water and does not re-emerge. It has died or fled. Either way, you should not linger. See, the problem is with that, you pant with relief, exhausted from the encounter. You collect a few of the raw fish from nearby in the water. If you can find a fire to cook them, they should be most delicious. See, that's the thing though, is I don't think I'm going to survive now that I only have 4 stamina, swimming all around this dang lake. You keep a steady stroke as you make your way across the lake's surface. The sun has all but gone. It will be dark soon. For a short while, you pause in a warm spot in the water, treading gently and trying to rest the muscles in your arms and back. It is time to move on once more. Alright, let's see. Can I... Swimming like this is very tiring. Another night begins and you are suffering badly. You should find a place to sleep, especially after so long swimming with an empty belly. You stop briefly, lifting your face from the water. I could try the island, or I could try the telescope, now that it's back in time. Let's try the telescope. If I can get the telescope working, then I don't have to swim across this damn lake. I can just teleport, so I think that's my priority. You swim on through the water. It is exhausting work and horribly cold. More stars come out. The water falls strangely calm. Swimming becomes easier and you cut quickly through the water. It seems too good to be true. You notice a thin stream of bubbles off to your left. Oh no, this is probably bad. You swim closer to the bubbles. They break around you and underneath you, and looking down, you see something is rising. You wait, struggling to hold your chin above the foaming surface. Breaking through the surface of the water is a long, thin shape. It rises in a coil and unfolds 2 dripping, leathery wings. You half smile with pleasure at the encounter. It is the water serpent. Can I cast a spell? I mean, I need to just, like, toss oil on it, right? Pop's not gonna do much, I don't think. I don't remember if any of these spells actually has an oil component. Sass. Off. Yeah, let's just see if I can... You draw your longsword from the scabbard and shout a challenge at the beast, but of course you cannot swing your sword very high from the water. The water serpent is now free of the water and hovers, a massive shape against the dark sky. It stretches open its wide jaws. Alright, I got this! Got this! Ooh, I could try the sun serpent orb. That would be interesting. Yeah, let's do it. Screw it. You pull back your arm and lob the sun serpent orb into the open jaws of the water serpent. The serpent does not know what it is. It catches the orb, its eyes bright with cruel delight, and then it crunches down at the crystal glass. For a moment you see the flicker of the sun serpent's fire before the wrecked teeth close. That was the sun serpent you ate! You shout maniacally, remembering what Finestra told you, that the 2 serpents were mates. The serpent's eyes grow wise at your words. It opens its mouth to reply, and a jet of flame erupts from its mouth. Its belly is beginning to pulse visibly with violent heat. You shifted back, expecting an explosion, and when it comes, it is violent and bright, a ball of flame that makes the water below steam up in a great cloud. You have now defeated 4 of the 7 serpents. Well, I'm not too sure about that. Let's keep watching. You keep watching, not convinced that it's quite all over, and your instincts are correct. There's a flicker of movement in the steam. Light begins to shimmer through the clouds. Then it breaks, and the sun emerges, weakened but angrier than ever. I will kill you for this, it screams. I will grill every piece of you. There is no time for further trickery. You barely have time to draw your sword before it is upon you. It screams in rage. Despite losing its fire, it will still be a powerful opponent. Alright, buddy. I got this. Get out of here. Get out of here. I ain't got time for your shenanigans. Water streams from the sun serpent's hide, and as they run, the claws deep scratches through the creature's hide. You twist your blade and strike, hoping to skewer into its heart. The serpent soars towards you, only for you to cut it savagely down. The light in the creature's eyes flickers for a moment. The yellow scales on the serpent fade to gray. Okay. Boop. A quick stab cuts through the serpent's scale. The serpent leans back, escaping the worst of the blow. Ha, get out of here, jerk. You slice and dodge, avoiding the worst of the serpent's cutting strikes. The sun serpent seems to turn back for a moment, then its skin turns a heavy gray, and it falls. You stagger backwards, nursing your wounds. The serpent is dead. You have now defeated 5 of the 7 serpents. Time to resume your journey. Only 2 more serpents remain at large. The water falls still. Alright, we're actually doing pretty good. Pretty good. As long as I don't die in the water. Which, do I have any items that I can eat? I've got holy water, I guess. Does that help me? Drinking holy water seems very wasteful, but you quickly feel much better for it. Okay, because I definitely don't want to die now. Alright, let's see if I can get this telescope up and running. You try to sustain a regular pace as you swim. The dead night is so cold. From holding your head, you see an approaching fin. You hold your position in the water, hoping the gigantic fish will not notice your presence. It approaches slowly but steadily. You wait as the fish approaches closer still. It passes to one side of you, dorsal fin cutting the water. You reach out for the fish's fin and try to grab it, but your hands slide off the slick surface. The fish is almost passed you by. You reach out for the fish's fin, but oh. Before it can come too much closer, you dive under, hoping to better hide yourself, only to find yourself now eyeball to eyeball with a monster. It opens its jaws wide and kicks its tail, speeding towards you even faster. You quickly swim back up to the surface and shake the water from your eyes. The fish has almost passed you by. You stay absolutely motionless. The tail fin sweeps past you and then disappears from view. You have swum into sight of a low island, but the shoreline is too rocky and rough to swim ashore. You have to keep going. No, not keep going. Man. Okay. Swimming like this is hard work. In the distance, the sun breaks over the horizon. You have been awake all night and are weaker for it. You are physically exhausted, but unable to continue. Dropping to your knees to whisper the last desperate prayer to the gorilla. Here you are answered with a merest glimmer of strength. You cannot go on. You are physically exhausted and must rest, but there is no land in sight. You try to close your eyes and meditate to heal yourself, but the concentration required is impossible while keeping yourself afloat. There's nothing else for it. You swim on, slower now. You must find land before your strength gives out. You have become weaker and you defeated the sun serpent and the water serpent, meaning there are still 2 out there. Please, I can make it. You swim on versus the surface of the lake. Yeah, I know, I haven't defeated the last 2. Oh, God. On the shore. Let's say I'm in the southeast from here. Let's do the statues again, so I can just be like, no, dog. Touch the crystal. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to go back to town, buy some more apples, and then not die. That's sort of my plan at the moment. Climb down. Go. And then I guess I'll go try to find the serpent, because I still don't really know the time serpent's weakness. And I can't even fight him without his weakness, because otherwise he'll just do some stupid time shit and just get me dead before I even meet him. That's why he's a big jerk. Really though, I need to probably travel around without the towers on, so I can try to get more hints as to what I can do to kill the time snake. Let's see if I can try to rest here. You follow the road, this is sort of late. The sun seems to get evening soon, it'll soon be dark. Let's do the stalls. Some fruit, buy some fruit. Buy 2 because I still might need to eat. Okay, go elsewhere. Okay, so let's eat. Let's eat these apples. These delicious, delicious apples. Wait. Oh, wait, that's right. I can just click them, right? No? How do I eat? Is it bad that I forgot how to eat? Oh, rations. There we go. Eat. Eat. That was not as much stamina as I would have liked, but okay. You spend a few hours on the shore watching the sun go down across the mountains to the west, then gather your cloak as the cold night sets in. The stallholders and fishermen pack away, departing the shoreline in all directions and disappearing from view as they leave the light up from the distant beacon. Soon you are quite alone. Putting on your nose plugs, you dig through one of the nearby piles of fish heads, scales, bones, and other body bits from the day's catches. At the bottom of the heap, you find a single gold piece, which hardly seems worth the smell and oil that now covers your fingers. You walk down to the edge of the water and look out southwards. The surface is almost mirror flat, the reflection of the moon broken by only the occasional ripple. Familiar stars seem to lie on the ground, their patterns visible to all. A few things growl in the bushes near the store line. Setting the stars on the water, you fought several familiar spell shapes. They are reflections, of course, and yet they match the patterns you know, and that is when you suddenly think to compare the stars above and below to astounding effect. It seems every spell in the heavens, once reflected, takes the form of another, as though one magic might have an inverse of another. This spell. You glance across the water, identifying the reflection of the stars of the Zap spell. In the water, the constellation of Zen is formed. Perhaps the spell of lightning opposes the enchantment of levitation? A gentle breeze begins to pick up. Next, you find the image of the gum spell, whose stars form the shape of the zip spell. It would seem the spell of gluing is negated by that of teleportation. The surface of the water begins to ripple and break. Closer to the shoreline lie the stars of the Gak spell. The new shape matches the Sut spell. Incredible, the magic of suspicion counters the pattern of fear. Suddenly the water smashed open and as an enormous creature bursts up from below. It has 3 racks of nightmarish teeth and they are open and coming your way. It is a creature you encountered while swimming. Okay. Cool dog. Cool buddy. Pal. Friendo. Let's see, what can I do? I could just zap the damn thing. I haven't used an attack magic in a while. Let's do it. Eat my lightning. You weave the scarlight into your design around you, building up a charge of electrical energy around your palm. Then you fire the bolt into the water. There's a terrible crackling and then the fish floats to the surface, its flesh gently smoking. You wait for the last flickers of lightning to fade, then stride into the shallows and cut away some of the fish with your long sword. It is meaty, succulent, and only slightly burnt. The fish meat is smoked enough that it should keep for a few days. You cut away 2 meals worth and then store them. You leave the rest of the smoking body of the gigantic fish to bob away at the lake's current. Looking across the water, you have a strong sense of how far you still have to go. You cannot hope to swim across, so there's no progress to be made now. Let's sleep in a stall. You find an open market stall and lie down under the shelter of its canopied roof. It smells of fish, but the walls should keep any animals at bay. Laying your pack down on the shore of the lake, you try to rest despite the shivering cold of your still wet clothing. At least you are not hungry. You lie back and try to forget your troubles. You feel quite safe here, and you do not dream. Gained some provision, lost some gold, and found no new clues. The sun rises, bringing with it chatter and excitement, as stallholders and fishermen begin to gather at the shoreline. The sun has not yet crested in the last peaks in the east. Alright, so can I actually get a boat? That would be swell. No? Okay. Well, let's see if I can get a few more provisions or something. Let's see, buy some fish. 4 gold pieces. Let's buy 1. Eat it now. Are these fish local? She looks, the lake is right there. Where else will we get it from? Can you introduce me to the fisherman? You ask. She looks bemused. Whatever for? You don't like my prices? I want passage across the lake, you explain. Ah, you're headed to the peaks, she says. I see. I'll tell my husband. He'll meet you at the lake shore. As you turn to leave, she clambers onto the top of her stall, cups her hands to her mouth, and shouts. Then below, Oi, got a package? Across the water. She drops back down, dusts herself off, and adds, He'll be down at the shore for you. Okay. Well, interesting. Let's see if I can actually take his boat to the lighthouse island. You return to the lake shore. After a few minutes, a burly man with a net pounds the shingle as he races towards you. You wait and allow him to approach. You're the traveler? Looking to cross the lake? I am. The man holds out a hand, thick with calluses. I'll take you. Or I'll take you as far as we go. There's some dangerous things out there in the lake. One whole island, they say, is cursed. My boat's just in the shallows there. He points. Ready? Which island is cursed, you ask? To the southwest. They say there's a snake there the size of a mountainside. This is strange. This is the ancient world, not the old world. How can one of the serpents be here now? What is your price? Don't get in the way of our fishing, he replies, and we won't hurl you overboard. Does that sound like a fair price to you? More than fair. Good. With that, he splashes over to the boat and clambers aboard, alongside 5 or 6 other men, and several lines, nets, hooks, cleavers, and other bits of cutting equipment. You clamber aboard the boat, and the fishermen push away from the shores into the lake. Yep, yeah, I knew you were there. Okay, well now I can actually cross the lake without dying. How novel is that? Fishermen sing songs as they pull across the lake. The moaning winds pull at your pack and sword. The fishermen row at a steady, easy pace across the waters of the lake. You are headed for Monpeg and the fortress? One asks. You seem old for it. How old should I be? We normally send our children, he replies. He spits into the water. Not so many come back. Why is that? Why, he replies with a smile, because that's where they go. Why should they come back? There's nothing here for them, is there? The boat drift onward. See, do I choose where to go? Okay, well let's see if I can try to get to the telescope. The low-huddled boat glides silently through the water. The sun continues to climb the steep sky. The fishermen suddenly stop the oars in the water and look about in surprise. The surface of the water is heavy with fish, all dead, each one with a slightly grilled look to them. You scoop a fish from the water. It looks entirely intact, but it is quite dead, but its skin seems to have been blackened as if by a sudden great heat. The fishermen watch you cautiously, with evident concern. The fish is, of course, one of those killed when you electrified the waters of the lake previously. You skin it with the tip of your longsword and eat the fish. It is raw, slightly sweet, and quite delicious. Emboldened, the fisherman begins to scoop up the rest of the fish, and the boat is soon full to the sides. Now we return home, the fisherman says, but perhaps that is not where you wish to go. I must explore these islands, you tell him. The fisherman brows not for a moment, then he shakes his head. I must return to my family, he says, but there are several boats in our fleet. I will sell you this one for 60 gold pieces. The price is too much for me, you tell him. Then return with us, or... And he gestures one hand into the water. Are you suggesting I swim? He laughs. That's the choice. Then I will go back to the shore with you, you tell him with some resignation. The man nods, and the fishermen set their oars for the short journey home. Okay, well, I guess that plan didn't work out too well. Men call from the boat as they go. The sun is hot now. One of the fishermen nudges you. Do you play that game called Mindstones, he asks. For what stake, you demand. How's this? The fisherman replies. We'll take you all the way to the south shore of the lake if you win. And if you win, we'll toss you overboard, the man replies. How's that for a wager? The fisherman fishes out a set of dice. I'll play. The man slaps you on the shoulder. That's the way, he declares, and sets out the game. The fisherman hands you your dice and waves at you to bid. Alright, hopefully I can get... Because I'm assuming that... Begin at... 2 twos. I'm assuming that the boat is the only way I can get to the actual, the island with the telescope. Can I do... Dang, that's a lot of fours, or a lot of ones. I'm gonna call it because I don't want to risk getting more than that. And if he rolled 4 ones, that's gonna be crazy. Only 2 ones, the round is yours. Haha, jerk. Get out of here. Ah. Oh, he doesn't have dialogue. So you're headed for the fortress? I got 3 twos. He's got 2 twos. Uh, let's do... Let's do 4 twos. 4 twos. Where I go is my business. Not in our boat. Oh, he probably has 2 twos. But anyway, let's call because if he does have it, I can't do higher than that. Shit, there are 5 twos. The fisherman wins around. That's not good. Okay, let's see. Let's begin at 1-1. Well, now 1-3. Let's do 2 threes. Let me see. Alright. I'll raise that. 2 fours. Call. Aha, only 1 4. The round is yours. Okay, I'm holding my own here. Let's go. Ah. How about 1-1? I'll say he's got 2 dice. That's a tough opening bid. I'm gonna say 1-2. 1-3. Okay, let's do 2 fours. Because I have 1, so he must have had 1 to call it. 3. No way, there's 3, dog. Call. Aha! The round is mine. I just gotta win more. I'm getting pretty good at the Swindlestone games. Okay, shall we open? Let's do 1-2. Because you really want to start low to get them to call. Right, let's do 2 twos. Because I know I have 2 twos, and he must have 1 4. Ah, you fool! I got this. Oh wow, he was bluffing. He was bad bluffing. I won though, so ha! Get out of here. Fishermen shrug to the side amongst themselves, but they do not renege on their bet. All right, the lead one says, we will take you where you want to go. You'll come within reach of the North Shore. All right, well, let's go back, jerks. Boat glides on, fishermen come inside of home, but we're not going home. Wait, shit, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, I guess we're... Fishermen go back to the boat. They bid you farewell and crouch away into the village. On the shore. Wait, the boat you ride, jump in the boat. You race it, push the boat out and quickly into lake. Okay, so I guess I get the boat now? Okay. Wait, well, fuck. I mean, it's already getting nighttime, though. Boop. Grab the boat, use every structure's fine in strange water. Near the island. I guess let's go ahead and dock here. Get out of the boat. Center island. Wait, shit. I don't want to do that. Lining. I guess let's see if I can get up onto the thing. Can I go back to this island and sleep? Go ashore. Dark is treacherous. You'll have to rest here. Setting up because you try to close my eyes. You stretch out and rest. The remainder of the night is filled with vivid dreams. You are swimming through icy, endless water, but every stroke is only stretching the world beneath you, making it longer. Meanwhile, the cold is moving up your veins. You see yourself, outside your body, reaching forward to touch a blue crystal in a glass socket. For a moment, a beam of light shines upwards across the clouds, brilliant and alive. Meanwhile, your body burns and crumples to dust where it stands. Mocking laughter seems to ring in your ears. Awesome gold and found one new clue. The sun rises across the waters of the lake. The island is thick and wooded, but all the trees have died, and the whole forest is gray and desolate. Your small boat bobs in the shallows. A flock of winged maritons passes overhead, calling to each other in guttural voices and laughing. This island is an empty waste. Spoke out. Alright, let's see if I can actually get up to the lighthouse now, because otherwise this will all be... Well, I mean, I guess it is nice that I have a boat now, but if I can't get up onto the lighthouse, then this has been kind of not quite as efficient use of my time as it could have been. You row the boat onwards across the water. The sky is blue and pink. You lean on the oars, moving slowly forward across the lake. You have never rowed so far, or for so long. The fields of strawberry where you grew up, there was no open water beyond a few ponds. Nothing, then, to douse the flames that will come when the goblins turn southward, running from the Archmage and his army. Only the restoring of the crown can prevent it. The crown is all that has held back the beast for all this time. Perhaps one day it will be time to load all Anoland's people onto boats and sail southward for quieter shores. You row onward, lost in sorry thoughts. You row the boat onwards across the water. The air stirs a little, still cold but fresh. Every stroke is hard work, but you are making progress. Hopefully my boat doesn't disappear. Please don't disappear. Oh, wait, what? You row the boat onwards across the water. As the morning moves on, the wind begins to ride. You row onward. Suddenly, something bursts from the water's surface. It is the air serpent. There's nowhere to run on the boat. You'll have to fight as best as you can. Where the hell did he come from? Why are these guys just popping out of the woodwork now? Okay, why is he so weak? Did he lose his body? Okay, well that was a waste. Alright, buddy. Serpent swirls above the boat, its shape forming and breaking. The air serpent rises and watches you thoughtfully from overhead. You try to cut it to pieces, but your strike is wasted. Oh, balls, this is gonna be bad. He's got my number. He manages another strike. The monster is within reach. You swing hard and fast, and bury your blade deep into its gaseous belly. The serpent's hide is changing from a light blue to a deep black. There it is. The boat shakes violently. You take a step a short distance from the serpent. The air around you crackles and spits, but when the serpent falls from the sky to split the boat in two, you are able to knock him back. He squeals and turns aside into the air. Alright, well, he's probably going to do a light one now, so let's do a light one as well. Boop. You swing fast and hard and then lean back along the edge of the fissure. Let's do one more while he's still recovering. Boop. You manage a quick cut. For a moment, the creature seems to turn into a puff of air, but then reconfigures itself, more solid than before. Billows of cloud and gas blow from the serpent's mouth. Alright, here we go. Big money. Yeah, get out of here, jerk. That was surprisingly easy for him just popping out of nowhere. You swing again. The creature is diving. You cut up into it, and before it can turn to gas, your blade finds its belly. The air serpent screams, and then in its last scream, gas explodes from inside its chest and out through its eyes, nostrils from underneath its scales. It turns in the air once more, and then it's gone. The boat rocks twice, and then falls still. You have now defeated 6 of the 7 serpents, but you feel a flush of satisfaction. Only 1 serpent remains. None of the others will be reporting your mission to their master. Okay, well that worked out pretty well, actually. Surprisingly well. I guess by actually screwing up the whole plan with the boatman, he didn't have time to get another body, so he actually ended up being weaker. But works out for me. You row the boat onwards across the water. As the sun climbs towards its zenith, the wind picks up. You pull on the oars, sliding onward through the water. You have come within reach of a low island. Oh, perfect, I can finally go up here. You row the boat onwards across the water and then pull it up onto the shore. It's very warm now. You're starting to sweat under your cloak. The island is covered in dense tree cover. The top of a stone tower is just visible above the canopy. Drawn up on the shore is your little boat. You move away to the thick woods that cover the island. Alright, let's see if I can activate this telescope. The path winds along the shoreline, skirting an area of dense trees. Then it ducks below the canopy. You are surrounded by the calling of strange creatures. Insects and birds buzz past your face. From the shore, you saw a stone tower sticking up between the trees that fill the island's heart. But now you cannot see the way forward, and the path seems to twist and turn about. Remembering the gnome's compass that you bought in Kare, you take it out and watch the needle as it settles into place. Eventually, it shows you a narrow track through the trees. A flock of nearby birds startle at something, lifting suddenly into the trees. Trusting your compass, you follow the narrow track between the trees. After a few minutes of walking, you come within sight of the base of the stone tower. It is heavily overgrown. The door to the tower stands open. Gnarled roots and vines have forced it open and are now holding it ajar. The inside of the tower is dank and filled with mud, as though it has been flooded and emptied several times. Stone stairs curve up to a hatch in the roof. You gasp as you notice the walls, which are covered floor to ceiling with intricate carvings. Suddenly, something lights up in one dark corner. A flame. The flame seems to hover a short way off the ground. As you watch, it swells inside, from a single thumb to a fireball size to a small dish. You look around quickly for somewhere to shelter, but apart from the staircase that runs up the tower, there are no walls, no furniture, no cover of any kind. The fire has grown now to a full fireball of clearly magical nature, and in its light you can see what it is holding. It is a rough wooden frame of sticks shaped into the form of a woman with arms spread wide. It is a grimalkin, whatever the hell that means. It is a grimalkin, like those you saw as an apprentice, magical constructs which gather magic the way a funnel gathers rainwater. Well, I don't even know if it's evil yet. You wait and watch. A fireball, hot and fierce, shoots forward from the wooden frame towards you. Okay, yeah, I guess that's evil. You dodge left and the fireball punches past you, not aiming at the door, but instead splashing up the staircase that leads up the tower. The room is dark a moment. In the pause between fireballs and darkness, you see a little of Grimalkin. A frame is built from old, half-rotted wood, beams that were once perhaps part of a roof. A single upright forms the body and head. Its two arms are angled outwards to collect starlight. It has clearly been positioned beneath the stars of Hayat, Osiris, and Thara. Hot, and angled so the resulting fireball is directed at the staircase. A new fireball begins to form between the arms of the Grimalkin. In the light from the Grimalkin, you follow the line of the staircase with your eyes. At the top is a trapdoor sealed with a rusty old bolt. If the bolt is stiff, it might take some time to coerce it into opening. Fireball spell is complicated and is completed and splashes across the stones of the staircase. What can I do here? Let's just do a wall. That should save me, right? It's gonna burn a lot of my stamina, though. You weave the spell, throwing up an invisible barrier in front of you. The wall cuts the tower in two and should protect you from the Grimalkin fireballs. A new one is currently forming. You watch as the fireball forms and is released. It strikes the invisible wall and with tremendous force and then bounces back with a wash of fire that surrounds the Grimalkin. The dry, aged wood is quickly incinerated. With the Grimalkin destroyed, the tower falls quiet. Once more, you notice the carvings on the wall, forgotten in your battling with the Grimalkin. The carvings are beautifully preserved, unlike in all the other towers you've climbed. They cover the walls from floor to roof, telling a story in sequence. The first panels show the construction of a great city on the shores of a lake by a powerful and proud people. Then, the city is threatened by a series of avalanches and other disasters, attributed to an underground demon. Several buildings are destroyed. You climb a little way up the stairs to pick up the story of the carvings. The destroyed buildings are rebuilt, but a council of wise men and women are gathered to discuss the problem. They scratch their beards and comb their hair and rub their eyes in thought. And finally, they set to building a series of great towers scattered around the land. The purpose of the towers is not clear, however, but all seem convinced they will save the city from further disaster. They celebrate with raised arms. The final panels of the carvings show a man in a horned helmet delivering some kind of equipment to the builders of the stone towers. From the symbols on this man's cloak, you realize he is supposed to be one of the archmages of High Zaman. Each tower is fitted with a lantern, and the lanterns are lit. Birds freeze in midair, rivers cease. In the light of the lantern, clouds stop their scuttling across the sky. Below the level of the towers, the land is peaceful and the people are happy. It seems the light will keep them safe. And that is the end of the story. From here, you could go up to the tower or back out onto the trees. Up! You make your way up to the steps of the tower and open the hatch in the ceiling. Once again, the tower is topped with a movable cylinder and a blue crystal. Actually, yeah, for long I did sort of make it past the spoilers because the spoilers were how to kill the air snake, but the spoilers for how to kill the air snake were actually, I guess, in a different fight. That's part of the reason why I was so surprised to find the air serpent there, is because I expected to meet him at a different place. And it tells you how to defeat his body. But where I meet him, he didn't have a body, so I guess it didn't matter. There is one other spoiler concerning the time serpent, though, that I haven't passed yet. From here, you can see across the island to the water that surrounds it. More interesting is the shoreline further south, where two towering statues lift hands into the air, sorcerers lining the start of the road to High Zaman. The tower seems to be broken. You are forced to give it a kick before the beam begins to shine. Alright, let's see. So, where can I can do there and see what the towers are like, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I guess let's do that. And then it seems incredible that anyone should have built these towers with their curious lanterns. Indeed, you cannot help but wonder what these towers did originally. What appeared in the land beneath the beam when the land was everywhere lush and green? Where the light touches you, you feel suddenly much better. You consider the carvings as you regard the light. What is it that these beacons truly do? They do not hold back the clouds or stop the rivers flowing. You have walked through their beams and seen night turn to day and back again. Perhaps the purpose of the tower has changed since they were built. But why? What purpose do they serve, except, as it would seem, to assist you in your journey? You touch the blue crystal and you start to move upwards. So let's port over here real quick and see what that does. You drop from the sky, then you step somewhat dazed from beneath the toes of the now fully intact sorcerer's statue. Oh, well, I don't really want to do this quite yet. There's no time to waste. You'll have to try to remace the remaining surface of the fortress instead of defeating them. Perhaps you will be able to reach the fortress undetected, but in your heart you doubt it, of course. Wait, no, I don't want to do that. 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 Okay, we're good. So I thought I would be able to go and then come back, but apparently not. Okay, well let's go back here and see what else I can do with this beam. Alright, well I guess I can maybe be honest here, but I will say that one of the spoilers that I did read was how to defeat the time serpent. But it does seem kind of cheap to just beat him with the spoiler. So I was hoping to actually find the clue that would allow me to defeat him. But so far it doesn't seem like that's really gonna happen. So I don't know. Let's see. Well, let's see. Where can I? There's a few places I haven't explored yet. Right? Well, I guess really not really too many places. I could go try to meet the old guy again, but somehow I doubt he's gonna help me at this point. I could go try to meet her. That might be interesting after I killed the sun serpent to see what she says. Yeah, let's go do that. Maybe she'll give me a hint on beating the time serpent so I won't feel so cheaty. I'll just spend a little bit of time, wait. You make your way quickly down the wooden walkway and back outside the tower. The undergrowth here is quite thick, and despite thrashing at the bushes, you cannot see any hint of the ring that fell from the tower. It may not even have fallen this close to the tower base, so it is most likely at the bottom of the pool by now. Let's see. Can I cast a howl or a, yeah, howl? No, that's a hot. I don't want to do that. Zen is float. Far. Yeah, let's do a far. Cast. You sit cross-legged by the roots of the tree and push your palms into the orb of crystal. Consulting the stars, you bind the magic and everything changes. Your vision is suddenly overtaken by a strange sight. An endless mountain path curling up between high cliffs. The calling of egos echoes overhead. Vision fades. The sun is now in the lowest quarter of the sky. Soon it will be dark. Seems to be no way inside. So Follow me across the trees. Push through. Okay. Smash the first here, so mountain north. I see charge. Move on. I want to go see if I can meet her north. It's still early in the night, right? Suddenly you hear a loud splashing, shouting, splashing from a group of reeds close at hand. You stand your ground as the voices approach. You soon recognize them as marsh goblins. They enter the clearing, panting hard as though running from something. You step forward to greet the goblins. Greetings! Know that I have killed many of your kind. The goblins stared at you, then at one another. It's clear they do not understand you. The goblins are arguing amongst themselves. One begins to push another hard in the shoulder. What are you running from? You continue. One of the goblins yabbers to another, perhaps asking a question. The goblin argument continues. The taller goblin leader drives over and knocks the angry goblin. Out here, I think I can talk to them if I use a spell. What is it? Gab? No. Yeah. Yep. Doesn't look like I have the spell that lets you talk to people. I can't remember what the mind reading one is. Nap. Well, whatever. I guess I'll just leave them. You turn your back and begin to walk away. The goblins are surprised by this change of behavior, and one shouts something which sounds like a threat. You keep running, but it seems your haste convinces the goblins that you are a threat, or perhaps that you have stolen from them. Either way, they chase you down, scurrying more nimbly than you across the muddy ground, thanks to their long experience in webbed feet. One flanks you and drops down into front, teeth bared. There is no time for anything but your sword. You draw your sword and prepare to attack. Alright, buddy. If that's how you want to roll. You fix the lead goblin with a cold stare and ready your grip on the blade, before delivering a fast, slicing blow, hoping to catch him off guard. The marsh goblin drops back across the bog, shaking with fear. It bares its teeth and hisses. Get out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense. You don't give the goblin a moment to react. You switch your sword grip and slash for its neck. The creature has its sword hefted for a strike. The foolish creature is wide open. The goblin is almost too weak to lift its heels from the marsh. The marsh goblin fails its sword, but looks a little weakened. You keep up your attack on the creature. You shift forward and dive your sword into the goblin's arm. The goblin's body tips over backwards and disappears in the marsh with a bubbling of mud. No stamina lost. Flawless fighting. I try not to kill you. First goblin falls, second rushes forward. Okay, that was a waste. There's teeth and hisses. Bye-bye! Get out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense. Fierce anger. Aha, get out of here. I ain't got time for this. I'm actually getting pretty good in this game, I think. Of course, now that I say that, I'm gonna get wrecked again. Yep, who's next? Other goblins scatter before you can lift your sword once more. You wipe the blade clean on a nearby leaf. You pat down their pockets, finding 7 gold pieces and a rolled scroll of paper. You remove the scroll of paper and unroll it. Unfortunately, it is written in a language you cannot understand. You pocket the gold pieces. It is unpleasant work. With the tip of your sword, you extract 1 good tooth from each of the goblins and rinse them off in the muddy water of the marsh. You straighten up once more. Leaving the creature to their water graves, you head across the marsh once more. You wade on through the marsh, which changes to firmer earth beneath your feet. Trees grow up around you, and suddenly you find yourself in the forest once more. Stars are carpeting the sky. You emerge into the clearing once more. From somewhere nearby, you hear a tapping noise, but then it is gone. You approach the door. Can I sleep here? You try knocking, but there is no response. She is most likely asleep. You step away from the hillock once more. You hop up to the top of Finestre's Hills for a view across the trees. To the south, fragments of stone masonry rise high into the leaves of fragments of an ancient bridge. You walk to a relative corner of the tree line and stretch out. It is an undefended spot, but at least if anything prowls the clearing, you should see it coming. Laying down your pack by the roots of the tree, you stretch out You try to stretch out despite the cold. You have eaten nothing today, and you have a few provisions remaining. Taking a hunk of cooked meat from your pack, you fill your empty stomach. Then you close your eyes and let your tiredness overtake you. Suddenly, all around you goes quiet. The night air itself seems to still. You hear a distant voice. You stay quiet and strain your ears to listen. Greetings, intones a voice, aged and self-satisfied. I trust the Backlands are treating you as kindly as my fair city. It takes a moment to place the voice. It is Lorak, the wizard of Kare. What are you doing here? I am here to help, as you helped me in my fair city. You have a message in a language you do not understand. I may be of assistance. How do you know this? Ah, so I am right, exclaimed the wizard. Far-seeing can be so unreliable. Well then, you feel your fingers reaching out as though to take something. Show it to me. You pull out the parchment given to you by the goblins, and then your eyes begin to move by themselves, backwards and forward across the words. You have little choice but to read. Yes, the wizard murmurs. I was right to come. You feel your finger lift and tap the paper. It is most interesting, he concludes. Indeed, most valuable. Promptly the voice vanishes. What does it say? You call out, but the wizard's presence has gone. You're quite alone once more, none the wiser for it. You wake halfway through the night at the sound of breathing from beneath the trees. You sit up. A few feet away, a low, shadowy shape moves across the ground. It is a wolf padding closer. Nah, dog. Get it? Because it's a wolf? Let's see, what can I do? Yes, I can do tell. I don't think I have the skull cap anymore. Yeah, let's do a pop. I haven't used one of those in a while. You turn the stars of the shape around over one of your pebbles. You throw the pebble at the wolf's head with perfect aim. It explodes on impact. Once the smoke clears, there is nothing left behind. The silence of the trees returns. You use one provision and gain some gold, entered the Vishlami March, and defeated the air serpent, leaving only one more serpent to destroy. You wake as the sun rises over the mountains to the east. Time to move on. Tracks lead both ways into the forest. Alright, let's see if I can meet up her. Please tell me how to kill the time serpent. You return to the door. You knock twice, and Finestra's voice replies, oddly loud considering it comes from below. Leave me alone! I'm working! But perhaps Finestra can translate the goblin's parchment for you? I need your help, you call. Of course you do, she shouts back irritably. So what? Please open the door. Why, so you can waste more of my time, she reports. I have a serpent to bait. I need to translate a message, you call. After a moment, Finestra opens the door. A message, she requires. Show me. If you promise to help, you reply cautiously. She waves your negotiation away. Yes, whatever. I'll promise anything. Doesn't mean I'll keep to it. Just show me what you have. She takes the parchment from you and scans it quickly. A slow smile spreads across her disfigured face. You have no idea what this is? She asks. This tells you the weakness of the Serpent of Time, the most deadly of the Archmage's 7 serpents. How did you come by this? You wait, not answering, and she resumes her reading. Finally, she finishes her study. This line is key. She taps the paper with a fingernail. In time, all things must end at last. The back and forth of ages past. Time's great light will cast a pall. 2 times too many, time will fall. She smiles. Quite a discovery, do you not think? But what does it mean? Are you stupid as well as illiterate? She asks, quite genuinely. I would have thought its meaning was more than clear. She nods twice, clearly satisfied with her reading, but then she hands her skull back to you. You thank her and she nods. Now go away and let me work. With that, she slams the door in your face. You step away from the hillock once more. This is an exposed place, not somewhere to hover. Okay, well, I think that's good enough. I've got the weakness now for the time serpent. So, normally I would have had to figure it out myself, but unfortunately, I did kind of get this one spoiled a little bit. But the trick is this. The only clue to the Serpent of Time weakness is riddle. In times all things must end at last. The back and forth of ages past. Time's great light will cast a pall. 2 times too many, time will fall. So basically, so it's not me being clever, unfortunately, but I can tell by this riddle and the spoiler that it's what you do is you shine the lanterns that change time on this time snake, and that should be enough to kill him. So that said, now that I can officially say that I sort of technically kind of not really did this without spoilers, let's go kill us a time snake. And then we'll be done. We'll be done with this whole game. It's actually still relatively early too, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm not sure if I'm gonna jump into the next one quite yet. I don't know, maybe I could play like N plus or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it. Uh, you're lucky that you will not sink to death. I just gotta get back to the tower and we're good to go. I don't care about you anymore. I got stuff to do. Got time. Ain't got time for this. I got lucky though. I'm glad that I was able to get the Time Serpents puzzle. You know, back to... Oh wait, can I not go through this? There seems to be no way inside. Oh, interesting. So I could come out, but I couldn't go in? Okay, well I guess let's just, that sucks. I didn't realize it was only a one-way trip. I mean, I guess if worse comes to worse, I can go all the way down the, thing, but I wouldn't rather not have to do that. Alright, screw it. Let's just, wait, well no, let's do... I could do... Can I do a... I can't do a Raz. Let's just do a hot... Well, I feel like hot's just gonna burn down the whole damn thing. Could try Raz. Could try Zen. Try a Far. Let's just do a Zen, because I can just float to the top. You craft the enchantment and the downing begins to glow as but you're not floating high enough to clear the tangled bushes. Oh, well maybe now I can just cast a hot and just burn everything? Because if I had cast a hot before, I probably would have burned to death, but now... This is going to burn a lot of stamina, but it will be worth it if I don't have to travel all the way down again. Reaching up to the constellation overhead, you create the spell, winding a fireball in your palm. Throw a fireball into the bushes. You hurl the fireball at the bushes surrounding the base of the tower. They ignite quickly into a violent inferno. The dry branches burn quickly away, leaving the door clear. The door to the tower stands open. Cool. Well, can I look for the ring? Oh, no, I guess not. I'm going back and forth quite a bit here. Yeah, let's not do that. Whoop. Oh, it's getting night, so I could probably go ahead and sleep in this tower. Make a move. Okay. To the tower. Sleep here. Eat something. Okay. Now in trouble by dreams. Ran out of provision and found one new clue. Da 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 da. Twisted wooden staircase up to the top. Telescope like cylinder. Touch to adjust the beam. Alright, Time Snake. Why don't you get a taste of your own medicine? Is that hitting him? It's kind of hard to tell since I've got so many pointed at him at this point. At this point? Huh? Get it? No? 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 Okay. I'm sorry. Touch the blue crystal. Okay. So that should be 2. Well, before I fight him, let me do this. I'm going to go back over here. And I'm going to get a couple more provisions from the town. And I'm going to adjust this beam just to make sure that it's hitting the right spot. Okay. Wait, shit. No. I need to get the town though is a problem. I need to get the town as well as the serpent. There. I think that's probably good enough. I'm down because I could use some more food. Don't want to rewind. Now go down the tower. This is my sorcery song. It's not a very good song. Probably need to workshop that one. Into the road. Time to move onward. You're right, I've been playing this game for far too long. You on your way? Honestly, if it's early enough, maybe I'll just go ahead and start the next chapter. Forward. I have to come up with a cool title, though. make sure. Oh, are the stalls not in? Okay. Oh no, it looks like it still counts. Neat. Hmm. Not sure what to buy. I mean, the fruit kind of. Guess I'll buy a couple fruit, and then I'll buy a couple fish. Buy two. Okay. Save the fish. Alright. So now, can I get in a boat? No? Okay. That's fine. I'll just swim. I'll just... Well, let's see if the boat's probably on the, well, that's not the way I wanted to go. I mean, it is the way I wanted to go, but not the marker I wanted to go to. Why didn't I cut the branches? Because historically, for long, cutting the branches with my sword just ruins my sword. The only way that cutting stuff with my sword, like trees and stuff, works is if I have the ability to use the Raz spell to sharpen my sword. So I used hot instead because I didn't want to screw up my sword, especially since I had a better sword, but I lost it. So this is the only sword I got. I can't mess it up. I don't want to have some sort of like permanently dull sword status effect that I have to deal with, especially since I'm about to get into the last chapter. Okay, inside. Listening to silence. Yeah, let's go ahead and sleep here. Be nice and refreshed. Eat something. Moving while you smoke fish, you break your fast. You stretch out and rest, and you do not dream. Need some provision, lost some gold, found no new clues. Alright, we're actually in pretty dang good shape. So now it's a new day for snake killing. Touch the blue crystal. Okay, so I've got 3 of those pointed at him, which I think is a pretty dang good number. I guess I could, there's one more I could point at him actually. First, let's see, is the boat here? Well, yeah, let's do this first real quick. When you're Dizzling High, this guy can actually also point at him. Just to make extra sure that he's got beamed all the hell up. Boop. Yeah, buddy. How about that? How about them apples? There we go. Alright. That is a lot of time beams. Alright, touch the blue crystal. Feel yourself floating. Alright, do I have a boat now? Here? That would be swell. Move. Ah, dang, I'm gonna have to swim. Was it shorter to swim from here or from there? Probably from here, I guess. You take a deep breath and dive over the... Oh, fuck my apples. You dived in and found including the goblin's precious parcels, but all your soft food has been ruined. Stupid water. I hate water. Water sucks. Nobody likes water. Water's the worst. Alright, so I have to go this way to climb up. Very tiring, I know. Ugh. Okay, go ashore. Alright, time Snurpit. Guess what time it is? Ha, 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 ha. Oh shit, you're right, I did leave my boat by the lantern. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh well. You wait through the shallows to the shore, slowly the sun begins to make its way back down to the sky. Yeah, for some reason I thought I left it on the far shore, but I think you're right. For long, I think I did leave it by the lantern. Oh well. I didn't need those apples anyway. Or that gold. Or the parchment. Right? Yeah. I did that on purpose because I'm cool. I'm cool and smart. I'm a good adventurer. You clamber up the rocks to the middle of the island. I'm going to have to get back into my reading voice because this is going to be important. You head away from the shoreline up the rocky slope of the island. There's something very strange about this place. The air moves with insects, who seem sometimes frozen in mid-flight, but at other moments spin through the air. Clouds stop, shift, then stop once more. It is as though the whole island is running on ticking clockwork. The air shines and glows with the overlapping light from the beacons you have converged onto the island, as though a battle of elemental forces is being waged in the air itself. Okay, so it seems like by casting so many time These beams screw up space-time, so I've pointed 4 of them at one location, so it's like really just totally abused the time stream. Absolutely just murdered it. You creep a little up a stony embankment to try and peer at what's ahead. You make out a bowl-shaped depression in the ground, some kind of pit. At its base lies something, a coiled shadow, but you cannot make out what it is without going closer. You return to the path, thoroughly alarmed. You continue climbing up the strange dead slope. The path turns and then descends into a bowl-shaped pit. You crest the stony rise and look down into the pit below, where a coiled serpent lies sleeping in the middle of the intersecting beams of light from the towers. The creature has not yet noticed you. In fact, it seems to be still, the only unmoving thing on this busy, bustling little island. You try to approach stealthily, but stumble and slip down on the loose mountainside, sending loose rocks flying with each step, but the creature does not look up. Indeed, the creature does not react to your presence at all. It appears quite immobile. I will kill you now, you tell it serenely. The creature attempts to reply, but it seems the weight of the crisscross beacon light across its body pins it down. It lifts its head a fraction, perhaps just enough for you to cut its throat. Blood pools around its feet. Very slowly, its eyelids open, as though they were pinned by weights. Then it chokes once, and the light inside its eyes goes dark. You stride over and check the beast's heart, but there can be no doubt. It is over. It is dead. You have now defeated all of the Seven Serpents. Something had happened to the island. It is alive once more. The first thing you notice is the clouds as they start to hurry across the sky. The grass begins to shift and move in the light wind. A few loose rocks skitter down the slope. The island is moving once again, and the light from the beacons fades from views. You feel a great wellness. With all the serpents defeated, there is nothing stopping you from making your way to Mompang, if you can find your way across the lake. Yes, I'll rest here. Take a moment to rest, absorbing something of the quiet of the island. The wind picks up as the evening draws on. Soon it will be dark, but now your quest will not wait. You head back to shore. You return to the shore of the lake. A pole with a bell seems to have appeared by the shoreline. A pole with a bell? That's weird. Gather strength and return to the water. Alright, more swimming, yay! I have been swimming quite a lot in this adventure. You know, let's swing by the corner. We're already here, right? Let's see what's going on over here. Swimming like this is hard work. Darkness closes in. You need to rest, especially after so long swimming with an empty belly. You pause, treading water, in a sheltered cove in the corner of the lake, at the foot of the highest mountains in the horns of Ilkala. Narrow runoff channel snakes up the mountainside from here. From this perspective, the mountain does not look as tall as you know it truly is, and the channel seems like a gentle snaking climb, and not what it must truly be, a near vertical chimney down which one could only plummet. Yeah, I don't know why I'm bothering with this. You cannot rest here forever. You must keep swimming. You swim onwards across the surface of the lake. It is hard going and frighteningly cold. You stop briefly, treading water and catching your breath. You keep a steady pace as you make your way across the lake's surface. The night air is cold. The air is like ice. You are back at the stone harbor at the lake's southern shore. You have defeated all 7 serpents. Time then to put ashore and proceed to High Zaman and the Crown of Kings. Let's do it! You haul yourself up onto land. The night cold lingers on. The road to High Zaman winds southeast from here. Now the serpents are defeated. The only way is forward. There's no time to waste. You begin the slow climb. Ahead, the stony road leads into the Zanzanus towards the fortress at Mompang in the final stage of your quest. You may yet be able to arrive in secret. You pass a fallen tree from which a sword hilt protrudes. You look at the blade. The hilt is that of a very fine blade indeed, and scratched onto the sword are 2 words. A gift. Yeah, sure, I'll trust this. You draw the blade smoothly from the wood. It is long, curved, delicately weighted, butterfly sharp. This is the blade of the Assassin's Guild, no less. In the far distance, a shadowy figure disappears from view. Ahead, as always, you raise the blade and salute. Oh, thanks, Flanker. Flanker's like my bestest friend. Even though he kills people sometimes, he's still my bestest friend. You have taken 30 days to cross the Bachlands. It is almost certain that the Archmage has received word of your journey by other messengers in that time. Who knows who the serpents told you before you found them? You walk on disheartened. Wait, are you kidding me? So I did all that work and they're still going to be informed of my journey? Well, shit, I guess I did take a shit ton of time, but still, that just seems unfair. Oh well, at least I killed all the serpents. And whatever happens now at this point happens. As you walk, you are stopped by a man, bent double under a great load. His presence is most surprising on the empty road. You, he demands breathily, you are going to High Salmon? I am, he nods. Of course you are. He adjusts his grip on his heavy pack. I'm going home, he tells you. Home is Kariyama, a little village over the lake, over the marsh. I'm sure you won't know it. I know it, you tell him. He smiles. Do you? I am glad. I'm glad of that. A frown crosses his face. Only I was worried by something I heard while traveling. While I was leaving. What did you hear? The birdmen up at the fortress were talking, you see, about the beacons. They said the beacons were emptying the land. I'm a simple peasant. I don't know anything about magic, but I'm headed home as fast as I can. Emptying it? You demand, catching his arm. How can a beacon empty anything? That's what they said, he says with some agitation. They said the beacons were wiping out whole village, leaving only bare rock and dust behind. It sounded so strange, but then I heard the rumors that Pang had been turned into a Reuven overnight, and all the people gone. His voice drops to a whisper. They said it's being done by the most evil sorcerer in the land. Who's that? They call this the sorcerer of Annual Land. Someone saw him turn the light onto Kariyama, and then it was gone. What do the beacons do? They are supposed to keep us safe, he shrugs helplessly. I'm going home as fast as I can. His knuckles turn white on the strap of his pack as he talks. But listen, you look like a stronger sort, so I tell you what. If you see the sorcerer of Annual Land, then you will kill him for us. I cannot, you reply quietly. If you get the chance, you see about that. He pats you on the shoulder. Think of the children. With that, he shoulders his pack once more and hurries away down the path to be quickly lost in the mist. So, is he basically saying that I just like fucked up this whole place by using the beacons? Well, I guess there's nothing I can do about it now. Day 30. You changed to using the Assassin's Sword +4. Use some provision mind soon. Defeated Serpent of Time, the last of the Seven Serpents. This was once a grand road. There are hints of gold leaf on the corners of the steps, carving and holes for lanterns in the pillars that line the way, but all has long since fallen into disrepair. The only inhabitants remaining are birdmen, cursed to the air and shriek like demons to each other. The night is dark and cold, and in the meager moonlight you begin to make out a shadow in the distance. Mampang. Tall spires and sharp angles make the building look like a rusted blade. One thing is certain, entering the fortress will undoubtedly be the most perilous stage of your journey. Alright, here we go, let's do it! So I wonder, there can't be a way to have one without using the... Well, anyway, your journey across the Bachlands is complete. You took 30 days to cross the Bachlands. In the course of your journey, you defeated all 7 serpents, including the Sun Serpent, encountered Flanker once more, met Elthera the Mystic, and met Finestra the Sorceress of the Forest. You learned that all spells can be countered, and a riddle about the Sleepless Ram. You collected a fantastic number of magical artifacts. You're armed with an assassin sword, a longsword, and your original sword, and have 1 ration, 8 gold pieces, but no spellbook. Adventure continues and concludes in Sorcery 4 Crown of Kings coming soon. But it's already out! Okay, let's save to cloud. And I'm gonna need something to write this down with. Please don't steal my password, internet. I'm assuming that's not how it works anyway, but if it does, then don't be a jerk. Okay, let's see. As soon as this loads. Come on. Come on. Hey, wait, isn't that the same one that it was last time? Well, whatever. Tuhey, right? Tuhey. Alright, cool. Alright, continue. Do I not get any epic music? Yes, not. Can I make my own epic music? Oh no, I'm hearing a little bit of something. Very quiet for some reason. Much quieter than some of the other music. I guess we'll let the credits play. And so yeah, I've thought about it, and I think I will play something else real quick. If I can't think of anything cool to play in this 30 minutes, I'll just play N++. But I want to go ahead and finish out my time. But I don't want to start the next one yet, because I want to start fresh on a clean episode with the final chapter next Monday at 6 o'clock Central. So yeah. So, yeah, if you enjoyed that and don't want to watch me play in, I hope you all see you next Monday, where we will continue the quest to defeat the Archmage and get the Crown of Kings, which this playthrough is getting to be a lot longer than I expected it to be, but I guess that's mostly because I'm bad at the game. This is almost turning into a Vandal Hearts length series, but it's whatever. It's a fun game, so we'll see. But I'm looking forward to starting some new stuff afterwards. But yeah, so we'll take a quick little diversion to play something else in a few minutes as soon as the credits roll. I actually feel like I did a lot better in this chapter than I did when I was in Kare. At least I didn't get quite as abused. Like, the serpents were still tough, but it seemed like in Kare, every step I was getting murdered or screwed or stolen or kidnapped. It seemed like I did, in general, much better that time. So I guess we'll just have to see what the final chapter has in store for us when we play Sorcery 4 next week. But yeah, otherwise, if you enjoyed that, stay on. I am not finished quite tonight. I'll play a little bit of some other game, most likely N++ if I can't think of anything. And otherwise, I'll see you next week for the conclusion. Well, not the conclusion, because it's probably going to take me a few episodes to beat the next chapter. But yeah, it's fun. I will say I really do enjoy this game. It makes me curious because there are just so many different options. Like, what other ways could I have completed that? Or what better ways could I have completed that? Because I definitely did not do the ideal path on a lot of options. Okay, I guess we're done, right? Yay. Alright, so yeah, once again, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the run of Sorcery 3. And if you like that, you can continue the series if you're watching live next Monday at 6 o'clock Central. If you're not watching live, well then, you know, YouTube, right? Playlist. It'll just be the next video. Silly. Just click it. But yeah, for those of you that are watching it live, though, join me in a couple minutes and I will set up another game. Something fun. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll catch you next week. And either way, if you watch me or don't watch me, or watch me half-heartedly, whatever, one eye open, up to you. I hope you have a good night. Later.